Greetings, this is Doc Ock coming at you live and direct from Black Facts Headquarters Central this evening with another installment of Doc Ock at noon and 9. And as you can see, sometimes we go low and sometimes we go high. And tonight we're flying high with our top hat on like Vaughn. So we're going to go ahead and continue on with our story tonight of Blake, or The Huts of America by Martin R. Delaney, one of the first African Americans to ever write a novel, a full-fledged novel, way back in the year 1851. So we're going to see what he had to say about the days of slavery. As Burning Spear liked to say, do you remember the days of slavery? Do you remember the days of slavery? Do you remember the days of slavery? And if you do, then you already got a clue as to what we're about to bring you right now. So all of this should sound quite familiar. But before we get there, a few things we need to do, starting with giving us a like if you're watching us on Facebook, giving us a thumbs up if you're watching us on YouTube, and then go ahead and spread the word far and wide all through the land, because it's always the right time to give somebody else a hand. Give them a hand up, give them a leg up, we got to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps. And if you know what a bootstrap is and you've ever tried to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps, you know just how difficult a task that can be. Yeah, it's like trying to fly when you got yourself weighed down by a ball and a chain on both wings. Very difficult to do. But neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and share some of the thoughts of Marcus Garvey for you as we move into these last few days of our month-long celebration of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, the right excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And one of the things that he had to say, very, very brief, but powerful. The world does not count races and nations that have nothing. The world does not count races and nations that have nothing. So, if you want people to stand up and salute you, you better have something. Because nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You got to have something if you want to stay with me. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You got to have something, and that's what we're talking about tonight. That little something that we got, that little something inside that says we need to be free at all times. We need to be free. So let's go ahead and get it on so you don't have to take your, you know what I mean, on home. And here we go with Blake, or The Huts of America. Chapter 12, The Discovery. It can't be. I won't believe it, said Franks at the breakfast table on Sunday morning after hearing that little Joe was missed. He certainly must be lost in the shrubbery, because little Joe wasn't going to run off. Little Joe wasn't going to be no runaway. Now, I don't know how old little Joe is, but I imagine little Joe was right. Oh, they did say little Joe was so small that somebody was carrying little Joe on their back. So little Joe couldn't have been more than about 4, maybe 5 years old. After breakfast, a thorough search was made, none being more industrious than Alice in hunting the little fugitive. But without success. When was he last seen? Inquired Colonel Franks. He was put to bed last night while we at the supper, sir, replied Alice. There's something wrong about this, Mrs. Franks. and I'll be hanged if I don't ferret out the hole before I'm done with it, said the colonel. I hope you don't suspect me as nonsense, my dear. Not at all. Nothing of the sort. But I do suspect respectable parties in another direction. Gracious, Colonel, whom have you reference to? I'm sure I can't imagine. Well, we shall see. Alice, call Judy. That's right. Colonel Franks wants to talk to Mammy Judy. My Stephen, you send for me? Inquired the old woman, puffing and a-blowing. Yes, Judy. Do you know anything about little Joe? I want you to tell me the truth, sternly inquired Franks. My Stephen, I can't lie. So long as you had me, you never misses. Missus never knows me to tell a lie. No, bless the Lord, I send my soul to the old boy that way. No, my Stephen, I wouldn't know. Give what I feels in my soul. Well, never mind, Judy, about your soul, but tell us about, my Stephen, I expects to shout when the world's on fire. And tell us about the boy, Judy, and we'll hear about your religion another time. If you give her a little time, Colonel, I think she'll be able to tell about him, suggested Mrs. Franks on seeing the old woman weeping. Sure, Mammy, said Alice in a whisper with a nudge, standing behind her. What you stand here crying before these old white folks for? Come, Judy, what are you crying about? Let us hear quickly what you've got to say. Don't be frightened. No, my Stephen, I's not feared. I could run through troop of horses and face the devil. My soul's happy, my soul's on fire. Whoo, blessed Jesus. Ride on, King. When the old woman tossed and tumbled about so dexterously, then the master and mistress considered themselves lucky in getting out of the way. The old thing's crazy. Wouldn't I be able to get anything out of her, Mrs. Franks? No, my Stephen, blessed be God Almighty, I was not crazy, but so be as a judge. And then let us hear about little Joe. As you can understand so well what is said around you, and let us have no more of your whooping and nonsense, distracting the neighborhood. Bless God, Lord, send another gale. Oh, for another shower. I really believe she's crazy. We've now been here over an hour and no nearer the information than before. I think she's better now, said Mrs. Franks. Judy, can you compose yourself long enough to answer my questions, inquired Franks. Oh, yes, master, I knows what I was about, but when Master Jesus calls, everybody must stand back, 'cause he's above all. You know what I'm talking about. He's above all of them. That's all right, Judy, all right. But let us hear about little Joe. Do you know anything about him? Where is he, or how was he taken away? He was there Saturday night, my Stephen. What time, Judy, on Saturday evening was he there? When they were eating supper, sir. How do you know? When you were at the lower quarters and he in your hut. He was put to bed then. Who put him to bed? You? No, sir. Alice. Alice? Who went with her? Anyone? Yes, sir. Van Winter Ben went with her. Van Winter's Ben? I thought we'd get at the thieves presently. I knew I'd ferret it out. Well, now, Judy, I ask you as a Christian and expect you to act with me as one Christian with another. Has not Mrs. Van Winter been talking to you about this boy? That's what I want to know. No, sir, never. nor to Henry. No, sir. Did not she, to your knowledge, send Ben there that night to steal away little Joe? No, sir. Did you not hear Alice tell someone or talking in her sleep say that Mrs. Van Winter had something to do with the abduction of that boy? My Stephen, I don't understand that ducking and abduction, that what you call it, that big word. Oh, abduction means stealing a person away, Judy. Casey wasn't going to tell nothing about it. Case I wasn't going to tell nothing about it. Well, what do you know, Judy? As there's word of truth in me, I knows nothing about it. Well, Judy, you can go now. She's an honest old creature, I believe, said Franks, as the old fat cook turned away. Yes, poor old black fat thing. She's religious to a fault, replied Mrs. Franks. Well, Alice, what do you know about it? Inquired the master. Nothing, sir. Only Mammy Judy asked me to tote him up to the hut and put him in bed. Well, did you do it? Yes, sir. Did Ben go with you? Yes, sir. Did he return with you to the lower quarters? Yes, sir. Did he not go back again, or did he remain in the house? He stay in. Did you not see someone lurking about the house when you took the boy up to the hut? I told, what? Oh, I thought I hearing something in the bushes, but Ben say 'twere no one. Now, Alice, don't you know who that was? No, sir. Wasn't it old Joe? No, sir. Left him in the low quarter. Was it Henry? Don't know, sir. Wasn't it Mrs. Van Winters? Why, Colonel, exclaimed Mrs. Franks with surprise. Negroes, I mean, you didn't let me finish the sentence, my dear, explained he, correcting his error. I don't know, sir. Now tell me candidly, my girl, who and what you thought it was at the time. I don't like to tell, replied the girl, looking down. Tell Alice, who do you think it was and what they were after? Inquired Mrs. Franks. I don't want to tell, missus. Tell, you goose, you. Did you see anyone? Continued Franks. I just glanced them. Was the person close to you? Further inquired Mrs. Franks. Well, they touched me on the shoulder and run. Well, why don't you tell her then, Alice, who you thought it was and what they were after? You stubborn jade, you speak, stormed Franks, stamping his foot. Don't get out of temper, Colonel. Make some allowance for her under the circumstances. Now tell Alice what you thought at the time, mildly asked Mrs. Franks. I thought 'twere Mass Stephen after me. Well, if you know nothing about it, you may go now, gruffly replied her master. These Negroes are not to be trusted. They will endeavor to screen each other if they have the last chance to do so. I'll sell that girl. Colonel, don't be hasty in this matter. I beg of you, said Mrs. Franks earnestly. I mean, to let her go to the man she most hates. That's Crow. Why do you think she hates Crow so badly? By the side looks she gives him. Excuse me. When he comes into the house. I pray you then, Colonel, to attempt no more auction sales, and you may avoid unpleasant association in that direction. Yes, by the way, speaking of the auction, I really believe Mrs. Van Winter had something to do with this whole thing, particularly the abduction of that little Negro. I think you do her wrong, Colonel Franks. She's our friend. And aside from this, I don't think her capable of such a thing. So he says, such friendship is worse than open enmity, my dear, and should be studiously shunned. I must acquit her, Colonel, of all agency in this matter. Well, mark what I tell you, Mrs. Franks, you'll hear more of it, and that too at no distant day. Well, it may be, but I can't think so. Maybe, I'm sure so. And more, I believe that boy has been induced to take advantage of my clemency and run away. I'll make an example of him because what one Negro succeeds in doing, another will attempt. I'll have him at any cost. Let him go on his way. There won't be a Negro colonel in the neighborhood presently. Whom do you mean, Colonel? I mean that ingrate Henry, that's who. Henry gone. I have no doubt of it all, as he had a pass to Woodville and Jackson, and now that the boy is stolen by someone, I've no doubt himself. I might have had some money. Oh, well. I might have had some leniency towards him had he not committed a theft, a crime of all others, the most detestable in my estimation. And Henry is really gone? With surprise again, inquired Mrs. Franks. And they continue on after that, talking about what happened to Henry, but particularly they're trying to figure out what happened to Lil Joe. And they're having a hard time piecing it together. Where is Lil Joe? He was here, he was there last night, and now he's just gone with the wind, and nobody knows where he went. Except for one person, but that one person they cannot ask because that one person is no longer around either. Him and Little Joe apparently went missing at the very same time. How suspicious could they be? We shall see. Meanwhile, you know what time it is. Don't make me have to give you a quiz because you know you already whiz. So let's get on with the biz. All you little children, it's time to take your little head, lay it on your little pillow, on your little bed, and close those your eyes while you wait on that sun to rise. That when you feel those sunbeams beaming down on your eyes, you know that it's time for you to rise and shine, oh children of mine. So wait on that sun to rise up in a new day, for a new day will dawn, and it will be one that is divine. And all you have to do is follow what I say, because I'm not going to give you no line about the new day that'll be divine. All I'm going to give you is something that's even better than fine wine in the summertime, some good advice that if you use it, you'll feel so good, you want to do it twice. That's right. Get yourself in bed early and stop feeling squirrely. When you get up early, you'll be feeling good like you knew you should and thought you would. Other than that, you're going to be one happy cat. So, may peace guide your way. May you have I hope you've had a great day and will have an even better night without a fright. And in the meanwhile, all you adults out there, you know what you need to do. Give us a like if you're watching on Facebook, a thumbs up if you're watching this on YouTube, and then go ahead and subscribe to the Tubular Black Facts channel. The Tubular Black Facts channel. That's Tubular. Get on it right now, and you can even be a star because you'll be on the Black Facts channel, Tubular Black Facts on YouTube. Peace out without a doubt. Make sure to pass on the word because it needs to be heard. And in the meantime, we hope y'all leave with a smile for a while because we're going to close out right here in some serious style. Peace out without a doubt and justice. And let me also give a shout out to Brother James Ellis out there. I see you watching, and it looked like I got a message as well from Tony Johnson. Thank you very much, Tony, for giving me that update. All right now. Peace, y'all.